Welcome to Hyrule Warriors. For the Switch, it's Abyss, and we're doing a collectible guide for each scenario in Legend mode. In the description below, we'll have timestamps for each individual collectible, just in case there's a certain one you're missing. Alright, to find the 4 collectibles, you need to do the following. The heart container is normally located behind an obstacle, or you need to bomb a boulder. For the piece of heart, it requires you to capture a certain keep. Now those two do require certain characters in order to open that chest. Now the first gold skull, simply just need to KO 1,000 enemies and then you'll be able to locate it on the map. But for the second gold skull, it requires you to complete every single scenario once, play that stage on hard, pick a certain character and weapon. For that one, I do like to go over that as soon as we get to that point in the video. Alright, so now it's time to do the gold skull. In order to unlock it, there's going to be a cutscene with Zelda in which a giant boss will appear. So from the very start of the mission until after you defeat this giant boss, you need to make sure your ally's health doesn't go below 50%. Once you do that, that gold skull will appear right in the same area where you first spawned in. Now for me, I was able to defeat this giant boss within 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And for the Wii U version, you did need to defeat this giant boss within 3 minutes in order for the gold skull to appear. So let's just say, for example, that your allies' health are well above 50%. You go and you defeat this giant boss, but don't get the gold skull. Then there's a chance that you might need to defeat this giant boss within 3 minutes. So I strongly recommend right before the cutscene with Zelda to make a save right there, just in case you defeat this giant boss and something goes wrong. Alright, so I have to apologize for the length of the video. It's going to be a little bit longer than normal, simply because this one is kind of difficult to do and I wanted to show you as much as possible. And in the very beginning of this mission is very crucial because there's a lot of major enemies on the map and we need to take them out as quick as possible. And as soon as you spawn in, you need to head over to Princess Ruto real quick because she's getting attacked by 2 of them. And then you're going to need to head over to one of your allies that is going to get attacked by some more of them, and then head back to Princess Ruto and help her out again. Basically, in the very, very beginning, there's a lot of major enemies that we need to clear out very fast so we don't have to worry about our allies' health going below 50%. Then there's going to be a point in the mission to we need to take over the lakeside keep so that Princess Ruto can make her way underneath the water temple. Now at that point, when she gets to the water temple, she's going to get locked in a room. So we need to go to 2 more rooms and take those over, the one in the southwest room and southeast room, so that we can open these floodgates and free Princess Ruto. At that point, once we free her, she's going to teleport away from where she's at. That point right there is very crucial in order to make sure that our allies' health don't go below 50%. Once we get to that point, if they're, well above 50%, we're basically at a point in a road to where we can go 2 different directions. We can go directly to the room where Zelda is and get this fight with this giant boss on right away, or you can do what I did, and from that point right there, go around the whole map and clear out every single major enemy that's on the map. simply because when you go to fight this giant boss, and it could take you 2, 3, or 4 minutes to do, you do not want any major enemies on the map fighting any of your allies. So I was able to get this done simply because I took my time after I freed Princess Ruto, and I cleared out the whole map. Afterwards, when I got to the room where Princess Zelda was at, I waited and I baited those 4 enemies in that room to come outside so I can defeat them. That is the point. Once you defeat those 4 enemies is where I recommend you make your very first save, so that if you go and fight this giant boss and something goes wrong, you can just revert back to that save. So after you enter the room with Zelda, a cutscene will happen, the giant boss will appear. Once you defeat that giant boss and your allies' health did not go below 50%, then the gold skull will appear. Other than that, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.